this past weekend, I went to Laughlin. Laughlin, Nevada. It's Trump country, ladies and gentlemen. It's about an hour and a half from Las Vegas. Stayed at one of the casinos out there, and I got to tell you, man, people are not practicing social distancing. The poker room was open there. Poker room was packed. The roulette tables were packed, but yet you can only have 3 people per side at a craps table and 3 people at a blackjack table. That utterly makes zero sense. There were a lot of people that were senior citizens, a lot of people that were older people that were not wearing masks. So I'm telling you right now, if the virus is still out there, and I would assume that it is, in 3 weeks from now or a month from now, I would suspect that we would see an uptick in coronavirus cases. I don't want to get into a coronavirus discussion, but it was certainly telling and at the same time troubling. I was surprised. I thought that more people, especially people that were in their 60s, 70s, even 80s,
even 90s.
Would be taking more precautions.
We saw a 94-year-old at the poker table with no mask on.
With his wife, yeah, that's surprising.
And I went with you to that. And, for me, what struck me, Brian, was that the rules are, like you said last week when you were talking about Caesars, the rules are so inconsistent. I played a little blackjack while I was there. Now, normally, you have 5 people at a blackjack table. So they removed 2 of the chairs, essentially.
6 people.
6 people, sorry. So they removed, a couple chairs. So now they've only got a maximum of 3 people allowed at a table. And I'm still 3 feet away from the next closest person. They also, what they do is, when they change dealers, they break out entire new cards. So they break open packs of new cards, which takes forever, by the way. Yet they didn't wipe down the chips. So, and by the way, in blackjack, you don't even touch the cards. So they're cleaning out the cards. They're swapping out the cards every half hour. But the chips are being used over and over and over. So I didn't. There was so much inconsistency.
And the CDC a couple weeks ago came out and said that this does not survive on surfaces.
There's that too.
That it's very unlikely for it to be transmitted via surfaces. So none of that should even be taking place.
Well,
it's unnecessary.
When I was in the poker room manager every hour takes a cloth and he sprays it with this disinfectant and he just slides it through the chips like he's just going through the motions. And I said to him, wow, thanks, dude, you're a lifesaver. Yeah. And he laughed because he knew it was all BS.
And then you got roulette and craps. People are shoulder to shoulder. There's no social distancing whatsoever there.
Yeah, the problem I've had from square one and I said this about the San Diego casino, Viejas casino that I went to a few weeks ago. I said it before and I'll say it again. There is no consistency with these social distancing rules. And I think if there is an uptick in a month, then we know who to blame. That's for sure. But anyway, it was a fun trip. I had a good time, but there was not a lot of social distancing being practiced. And disappointing to see that, especially if there's an uptick in a couple of